this computer. Anyways, I forgot to record, so I'm just going to go back really quick and read these slides again because I know like almost 90% of our host families are not joining this. So thank you for hosting. Hosting an international student is a valuable experience to promote cultural exchange, understanding. Your support helps students from countries like France, Spain, Italy to immerse themselves in the American culture and family life during their stay, making their dreams come true. Host families from are from all around the US, not just California anymore. Sorry, I'm going fast through this because I just did it. Student background. Our students are from France, Spain, Germany, Brazil, and Italy. They are from different cities within their countries. They do not know each other before embarking on this adventure. They are all between 13 and 17, even though we have exceptions with some students who are 18. A lot of them, it's their first time experiences the USA. Their goal is to become part of our family, of your family, for a short summer and improve their English in an family environment. Getting in touch with your student prior to arrival. This is a very important point of the program. There's about 9 hour difference between the US and Europe. I say Europe because that's where, again, 99% of our students are coming from. They're 9 hours ahead of us. This is important information for contacting your students and their families. You can email, call, FaceTime, Zoom, WhatsApp. We really encourage you to get in touch with your student, and we have an orientation with all the students and all their parents in France, Spain, and Italy as well, and we tell them the same thing. But there's a lot of lost in translation. Some kids are having exams in May. They're still teenagers, they forget. So make sure that if you have not gotten in contact with your student yet, to let either Marla know or me know or Brittany, whoever is your coordinator helping you out through this process. And we will make sure that you get in touch with your exchange student. I strongly encourage a quick WhatsApp video or FaceTime video. It makes everybody more at ease before you arrive. Their parents are sending their teenagers abroad super, super far. So it makes everybody at ease to do a quick video and see their parents, and they get to see you and talk really quick and chat, even though they don't probably speak perfect English. It's okay. It's just a fact that counts. The information will be on their application, which you receive shortly after completing the matching process. So again, if you haven't heard from your student yet after the Zoom call, please email Marla or me or Brittany, and we will make sure that you can contact your student. A lot of the Spanish kids especially haven't even received your application until like last week. So maybe that's why the Spanish took a longer time. Are the students supposed to contact us directly or the parents? Sometimes it's the parents who will email you first. Every parent's different. Sometimes it's the teenager who will contact you. Every family is different. Arrival. So there's two different types of arrival. We have some students who are full immersion students. Those kids don't go on excursions and stuff. And those kids, most of you, the host family, will be picking them up at the airport. I know a lot of you in California, so it would be LAX. So if you have a full immersion student, which is spend 2 or 3 or 4 weeks with you, you will pick them up at the airport. If you are hosting a group student, which they all arrive the same day, and we have 3 excursions during that, on June 26th or arrival on July 18th, those students will arrive, many of them the same day, and therefore we do have a bus that drives them to a meeting point that is closer to your host families, and then you can all welcome them at the meeting point, which will be given to you within the next week or two. So group students will be picked up by a Oui-Connect coordinator. If you have a full immersion student, you will pick them up at the airport. Please check flight status before leaving your home if you are picking up at LAX or whatever airport you're picking up at, to make sure that the flight's on time. I even recommend hopefully the student texts you on WhatsApp or iMessage before he's leaving France or Spain to be like, hey, I'm leaving, my airplane's taken off. I think that's even easier like that. The kid's on the plane and he's on time. Greeting with a welcome sign. Please greet your student with a welcome sign, which includes their name on it to make it easier for them to find you. Although not required, you may also bring anything you want to make their arrival special. For example, balloons, flowers, flags. You can be creative. We have fun signs every year. So yes. On departure, the two main things is that, check their passports. They're teenagers, and we've had kids forgetting their passports before, unfortunately. And we leave early for the group kids. Like the kids might complain, "Oh my gosh, it's 6 hours and ahead." Yeah, we leave early on purpose. So that's just the way we do it. All right, what else? Insurance and consent for medical treatment. So each student will have a great actually insurance for travel liability and health insurance when they're here. If it's just a headache or something like that, they can go to an urgent care. If it's that, you can all call the number on their card. We tell them to take a picture of their insurance card on their iPhones or phones. Everybody has at least one phone, I'm sure. So they take a picture like that. If they lost their card, they have a copy of it on their phone, but we also have a copy of it just in case. So, if it's a headache or something, they want to see a doctor, urgent care, the phone, call the phone number. They'll tell you which urgent care to go to. Most urgent cares take the students, and it's pretty well reimbursed. And then if it's an emergency, please go to the emergency room. And we'll figure it out afterwards. But they're covered for anything. They're covered for all of that. One thing I tell families all the time, please don't sign your name on anything when you go to the doctor. Don't sign your name if they have consent from their parents to be treated on their application forms. The problem is that the secretaries at any urgent care, they'll be like, oh, well, we need an adult to sign. It's not true. They don't need that. But if worst case scenario, they're really pushing you, you can always put our name at We-Connect, my name, or the address of We-Connect that we will provide with you. But do not put your name because you don't want to get any like thing in the mail or anything like that. It's not your real kid. It's just an exchange student. Um, so do not put your name on anything or do not sign anything at the doctor's. Cultural exchange and learning. Just let me see if there's any questions. We're good. This immersion program aims to improve students' English skills while exposing them to the American culture. Engaging in daily routines provide a rich environment for both the student and the host family to share, learn about each other's cultures. Expectations from the host families. Treat the student as part of the family. Include them in your normal life. This is very important. Hosting is just about sharing your daily life, not entertaining them 24/7. I know a lot of first-time host families feel the pressure. Oh my gosh, I have a student at my house. We have to show them around all the time. And it can be very stressful to do that. No, it's okay to have downtime. It's the summer, the kids, they're teenagers, so don't put too much pressure on entertaining all the time. They're going to be fine. They tag along your daily life. A lot of fun things for them, and I'll talk about it in the next slide. Is just simple things like going grocery shopping and things like that. I always take the example, but an American student going to France, he's excited to walk around the streets, go to the boulangerie and all those things. So like for a French kid coming to America, I mean, they're excited to go to Target, Costco, and all those things that we wouldn't care about anymore. Communication is important and set rules early and kindly. We'll talk about that as well. Please speak English. This is obvious, but we have a lot of families in California, especially, which we love, who are Hispanic origins. We tell them during the home visit, like make sure that during those 3 weeks you speak as much English as possible because they're here for the English immersion. And also, we have some families who like to speak French because they're learning French or something like that. So just make sure that like it's okay a little bit, of course, but not every day speak French with them. It's for them the goal is to speak English, of course. How to create a great experience. Family dinners, include them in errands and everyday life. This is what I was talking about earlier. Ask them to cook a meal from their country. The French like to make crepes, even though most exchange students screw it up most of the time, but it's a fun activity. Or the Spanish can make paella. Introducing them to their neighbors, friends, encourage English practice, take photos together. It's always fun, or doing TikToks or whatever. Often after their stay, students remember kind of things that are ridiculous, but going to Costco or typical American fast food trips. Last year, we had a lot of kids who love going to like crumble cookies or, Cane's chicken, some of the things that they do not have in Europe, and then they see on TV and they're very excited for here. And it's not expensive things, movie nights, especially in California, at least I can speak for. We have a lot of like concerts for free during the summertime. I'm sure it's the same in Arizona and in Utah and even in Massachusetts. Beach days, inside jokes, simple family moments, not expensive activities. We do tell, just to go back on the activities, we do during orientation with our French and Spanish students, we say don't hesitate to tell your host family what you want to do. But sometimes they have no concept of how big America is. So I'll be like, oh, my goal is I would love to go there. And they don't realize how far it is. So if they propose things, don't feel bad to say no. We just tell them, please, it's better for you to communicate something that you want to do than to not say anything, because there's nothing worse than a student who just is super introvert and doesn't talk the whole time. So we encourage them during our orientation to like speak up, ask questions, tell them what you want to do. In worst case, the host family will say, no, sorry, I can't, so don't feel bad if you can't do an activity like Disneyland. I'm sure some kids will be like, oh, I want to go to Disneyland. They have no concept that it costs like, $200 plus parking plus food. They have no idea. So we say, no, we can't do Disneyland. Sorry. Most kids won't ask that, but just in case. Family activities, encouraging participating in family activities foster a sense of belonging. Host families should invite students and engage in planning family meals and outings, enhancing the cultural exchange and strengthening the bond. If you take a student overnight on the trip, try to get approval. If it's like something very small, it's not necessary in a contract that you have to let know, but it's always nice to know where your kids are, especially if you're going out of state, then we need approval. So let's say you're in California and you're going to Arizona for 2 days, we need approval from us and the parents in France or in Spain or in Italy. But if it's something small, like 30 minutes away camping, just it's always better for us to know where the students are. So just let us know by text. It's really quick. It takes 2 seconds. This is only for the people who are doing the 3 weeks plus the three excursions. So this is the first calendar. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because most families who are here today are doing full immersion. So I don't want to confuse anybody. But there's going to be a calendar for the people who have the three excursions. First session, which is June 26th to July 17th, and second session, which is July 18th to August 6th, August 8th. It's very similar calendars. We just have, a couple of excursions to for the kids when they applied. Ooh, my girl last summer left us a great crepe recipe. Was the secret to add a little bit of beer? I'm just kidding. Like I know that was my recipe in France. Um, Beer in the batter, not like just drink beer. The first few days, make sure your student understands what you say. What you say. A lot of kids will say yes, and which is great. We like kids who just say yes to things, everything without really understanding what you say. Speak slowly and with simple words. If you are having difficulty communicating verbally, try writing things down to show your student. They often understand written words better. And obviously, a lot of these orientations were done like 5, 6 years ago. Now they all, if you really are scared and can't communicate, you can always use cheat in the phone and it translates right away. Your student will be exhausted after such a long journey, and the time difference give them time to adapt. Each kid is different for this. Some kids really have a hard time for 3 or 4 days with the jet lag. The jet lag is exhausting adapting for some kids. Others are just, ready to go and they're fine. So just try to get a feeling of your student, but it's not unusual for a kid to be kind of like closed up the first 3 or 4 days, but then open up a ton. So just remember that for the three or first 4 days. Some kids might not want to do like something super, super exhausting the first day, like, a 10-mile hike or anything. I don't know. So, but some would, but just make sure be aware of the first 3 or 4 days with jet lag. Cultural shock. It might take a little time for your students to realize what is appropriate or not. For a European, it is considered rude to open someone else's fridge. Here's the deal with that one, though. Like, I grew up in France, and like in France, you're educated never to open somebody else's fridge. So, I mean, it's not going to change, but just know that they'll never, ever open your fridge to serve themselves. Even though in America, for a lot of people, that's considered as like, oh, you feel so welcome in our family. I feel great. Like friends coming over, opening, getting a Diet Coke. That happens way more in America than it does in Europe. So there are small cultural differences in that sense. Just like when they arrive, a lot of them might want to kiss you on the cheek because they don't know that people don't kiss on the cheek and Americans give a hug. So those are small cultural differences. Most Europeans eat smaller portions of food and less frequently than we are used to in America. We're just saying things out there, but every kid's different, obviously. Remember, rules and local customs are different in other countries. Be patient and take time to explain what is appropriate and what is not, several times if necessary. Americans are known to be more expressive than other nationalities. Remember that if you feel like they are not expressing as much as you would want to see, remember that. That's very true. Like, I mean, Americans now say, "Oh, hi, how are you? Thank you, blah blah blah." And the Europeans are like, when you cross a French person in the streets of Paris, they never would say hi, whereas here they would say hi way more often. So this you have to remember that. Even though we tell our kids a lot, hey, make sure that you say thank you, blah blah blah. Like they still need to be. They still need to say thank you. It's all about being open-minded. Remind your students it's not worse, it's not better, it's just different. Bathroom tips. Give your student a mini tour of your home. Show them where they can getting fresh towels where they can hang their wet towels, show them how to the curtain goes inside the shower bathtub and how to return the hot and cold water. That's always very complicated in everybody's house. Sometimes the hot water takes like 2 minutes, it's the case in my house. So just make sure that they know that. Tell them that it may take a few minutes for the water to, oh, we said that. Make sure and also one thing that's very important, especially in California, is that like, make sure that, they don't take a long, long shower unless you don't care. But I mean, like, most students are aware of this and we tell them, but like, if a kid takes their first day, like a 10, 15-minute shower, make sure that, hey, your shower should be shorter. Don't feel bad to tell them. The whole flushing and stuff shouldn't be a problem with European students. That's more for the Asian students. So laundry day, students should be provided with laundry during their stay. Ask them if they need to do laundry. If you'd like the students to do their own laundry, make sure to give them the instructions on how to use the washer dryer detergent. Um, Setting expectations early. Encourage a house conversation during the first 48 hours. Yeah, like make sure, like I know a couple of families, especially here, there's no phones at the home. So make sure they know that. A lot of them usually told us in advance and we told the students. But like if you have no phone policy, like make sure they know that. Every family is different. We're not judging, but like Wi-Fi password, phone usage, like after this time, we don't want to be on our phones. Laundry, chores, transportation. Transportation is more like, you can't take any transportations on your own. Quiet hours, family routines, clear expectations reduces stress for everyone. I added this morning, but a lot of our families do have an air mattress provided by us sometimes, or they have their own air mattresses. We don't mind an air mattress. Just make sure it looks nice. If an air mattress is presented the right way, it's totally fine. If it's thrown in the corner of a bedroom, then it could be a little bit more problematic. Pillows, sheets, make the air mattress look nice. But honestly, air mattresses, they're great these days. They have some really good ones. For 3 weeks, it shouldn't be an issue. Pocket money. Participants and their native parents are told to bring their own pocket money. We always recommend about $200 per week for the students. This money should be used for them to pay for any activities outside the house, movies, water parks, museums, baseball games, etc. And we're not telling this is what we're telling them and their parents. If you want to pay for your exchange student to go to the movie theater, that's your own family thing. That's fine. But like, just so you know that we tell the students and their parents that anything outside the house they should be paying for. So yeah, and even sometimes food to a certain extent. Food is a gray area because as a host parent, you have to provide food meals at home just like your own kids. But if every single day you're going out, then you can't expect the kid to pay for every single meal outside the house. But if you're at the mall and they're with teenagers and they're having Chick-fil-A, they should be paying for that. We tell participants to bring cash and US dollar, but some students also have credit cards. Ask them, would you like to take you to, we would like to take you, let's say you want to go to, Magic Mountain. What is that called? Six Flags. Um, would you like us to take, we're going to go to Magic Six Flags. It's going to cost you this much. Make sure that they're aware how much it costs before they go. I mean, European prices can be very different. So it's okay. It's great to take them to places, but make sure that they can afford it and pay you in advance. Um, don't let them, say, "Oh, I'll have my parents pay you back later on." It's a nightmare. Please don't do that. Like if you're taking them to like Six Flags, tell them to pay in advance or pay with their credit card on the website of Six Flags. Don't let the students tell you like, "Oh, my parents will reimburse you," because it's very complicated to do international transfers, and we don't want to be involved with different international transfers. So if they don't have the money, then that's on them. We told them before. We told their parents, like, please be ready to pay for extra things outside the house. Do not advance any money to your exchange student. Free and expensive activities. Our states offers many various engaging activities for host families and students. Options include visiting local beaches, parks, attractions such as cars and coffee, malls. Cars and coffee is always a huge hit. I'm sure everybody has that everywhere. Exploring these sites promotes bonding and cultural exchange in a relaxing environment. Like I said earlier, free concerts, free this, just going to the mall, the outlet mall. The kids love that kind of stuff. So it's for them, it's all very different from where they're coming from. Here's a little video. Let's see if this works. Here's a video of the students saying goodbye last year. It only lasts 10 seconds, but it's pretty cute. Hold on. All right, contact information. Let me unmute people now. Do you have a policy or recommendation in case they want to someone alone time out, they want some alone time outside, such as going for a walk around the neighborhood? What does that mean? Oh, policy. No, every family is different as far as like your rules of the house. Like you can totally remember these kids grew up in Paris and Barcelona. They take the metro since they're 10 years old. So like it's up to you. If your family is strict, like, oh, we don't want our kids to be by themselves at Irvine Spectrum, like at the mall, then that's your rules and they have to respect that. But if they want to walk around and stuff, like that's up to you. They can totally be on their own. So as long as they're comfortable, you can ask them before, are you comfortable with it? I want to unmute everybody. Give me 1 second. Mute all. Ask all to unmute. All right, here we go. I think people should be able to ask questions now.
They want to go with us, it's up to them, but they want to go on their own, yeah.
Love quote, I was so true when they left last year.
What?
Never mind.
Yes, to share location. Hello, Hector. We have a question.
Yes.
So, there's an application that we use on our phones called Life 360
Okay.
that allows us to keep track of, where family members are. Would it be appropriate to ask the students to also load that app on their phones in case they decide to walk down to the store or do something on their own?
Yeah, as long as you have their approval, I'm sure that's okay.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, we should do that. It's a good idea.
Hector, I have a question.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know the difference between immersion and non-immersion. The two children that we're getting, are they immersion or non?
They're on the 3 excursions. So they're all immersion kids. Just some kids have 3 excursions, ma'am.
So our two are going to go on the 3 excursions.
Yeah.
Got it.
How about picking up minors from the airport, unaccompanied minors?
I'm sorry, this is Caroline. Can you repeat I'm kind of lost on that part as well. I'm not sure. I know mine is staying with me the whole time. So is she going
That's
on
full. No, there's no excursions. You would know if you have excursions. And I'm sorry, I want to go back to the first person I answered because I don't recognize everybody's faces 100%. So what was your last name? I'm sorry. I don't know it.
Oh, the first person. Okay.
Yeah.
Kulaks.
Kulaks. Oh,
Kulaks.
yes. Your students are going to the excursion. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Anybody whose student is arriving on June 26th or July 18th, usually it means that they're going on these 3 excursions, but not everybody. But everybody's a full immersion student. Sorry, I'm getting a huge echo. Anyways, if you're really hesitating on the excursion thing, let us know. But everybody's basically a full immersion student. Some of them have 3 excursions included.
So how do I know if my student is going to get the excursion?
Are they arriving on June 26th?
Yes.
Caroline, I do that. Just text me afterwards, and I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good.
I just can't remember right now.
Okay.
Yes, picking up a minor at the airport is okay. I mean, some of them who are 14 and under are, sorry, I'm hearing a huge echo in my ears. It's really hard to talk. But anyways, you can pick up a minor at the airport. It's fine. Some of them will have unaccompanied minor, so you're gonna have to sign off before you take them. Usually that's the students who are 14 or younger. But any students who's 15, 16, 17, they're just gonna walk out. And then you'll have a welcome sign for them.
Wow. Some of my group students will be being picked up at the airport.
Yes.
So.
Are you guys seeing the chat about the echo?
Yeah. I can mute everybody, but no, you're not going to the excursions, Monica. You're not. You're going to be dropping them off at a meeting point that will let you know soon if you are doing excursions. A meeting point near you.
Hi, Hector.
Hi.
This is Judy. I
Hi,
haven't been
Judy.
contacted by 14-year-old. Like,
You have not been contacted yet.
no.
All right. Well, just text Marla and we'll get it going.
She did, and I sent that to you, and I'll email it to you.
Got it. It happens all the time, by the way. We're doing really good on placements right
Thank
now
you.
compared to other years. We're advanced. It's just that some communication sometimes emails go to spam, kids take their time, you know. Yeah, if a parent has reached out to you by email, that is initial contact. I would follow up with, hey, if you want to do a quick phone call, I'm available during these times on video. We are going to have orientation with our French students and Spanish students very soon. So they're going to know all of this, like to make sure to contact you before.
Hector, are you actually the one that speaks to the students or gives this presentation to the students, or there's somebody else on that side?
A little bit of both. We have some students that I do the presentation for because we have We-Connect branch in France. But if anybody from Spain or Germany or Italy, it's going to, even France, we have different agencies that we work with. Um, I recorded a YouTube presentation because I want them to know exactly what we expect from our students. And I send it to them a link. So they all should be watching that link of me talking about orientation. However, we also have some students where I talk to them directly. Tomorrow morning, we have an orientation with a lot of French students. Kelly, if you have any issues with the corresponding with your Spanish student, just text me and I'll take care of it tomorrow. Molly, you can ask that to Marla. She'll put you in touch with other parents for expectations. A lot of the people who are here today are new host families. The people who host over and over don't usually join the Zoom anymore. So I don't know how many old host families there are. We have a lot of families who are repeat families and they don't usually join the Zoom two years in a row. Now Gabriella's missing. All right, if there's no other questions, I will turn this off in the next 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it. I cannot believe I forgot to record it. That was like the main thing I was supposed to do. But I did. I remembered. I went back and I recorded it. I look forward to seeing all of you this summer. Marla, be in touch with Marla. Marla does have a group on Facebook for a lot of those families that want to talk to each other and stuff like that. And that sometimes is helpful for parents to join that Facebook group. So I'll let Marla take care of that and she'll be in touch with you. We should also be sending an email to everybody, 3 weeks before arrival with all the last details, arrival, exact time, etc., etc. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thank you.